You're listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers.
Presented by CMH Heli Skiing and Peak Performance.
The Low Pressure Podcast is sponsored by CMH Heli Skiing, where you can choose from 11 unique locations and experiences, including 4, 5, 6, and 7-day signature trips, the brand new single-day trips. You can do small groups with just you, 4 friends, and a guide, or the private and exclusive, where you get the whole place just to yourself. So find your next adventure at cmhheli.com. The Low Pressure Podcast is also sponsored by Peak Performance. There are many ways to make it down a mountain, but the best line is your line. And the adventure is there, so make it yours. Visit peakperformance.com and get the gear to unlock your freeride spirit. Je Paq, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the place. I have seen a lot about you in the last, I guess, few months.
Yeah.
I guess this season you've kind of really taken over.
Yeah, it's probably
you've taken over the internet.
Yeah, probably been the best season so far for everything, I'd say.
Yeah, hey.
That's been really good so far. Even though the snow hasn't been really good at the beginning of this season, you've made do. Yeah, still made the best out of it, I would say.
You made do. Yeah. Did you go up today?
Yeah, went up today for a few groomer laps with my homies, and I tried out my new race boots that I just got for my comps, and trying to dial that fit in and see that how that goes. And so far, really liking the new boots.
So race boots. So you're competing on the qualifier circuit.
Yeah, exactly.
This year, what were you on before? You're on pin boots?
No, I was on the DS Solo, which are kind of like the race boot.
Is that the Dalbello?
Yeah, Dalbello too, but just they're kind of similar of the race boot, different plastic, a bit less stiff and more space for my toes.
Less stiff?
Yeah, a bit less stiff than those ones.
Oh, yeah?
And it broke super fast, so I was like, I need something stronger and stiffer. And
I thought the race boots were less stiff.
No, my other boot. Now this one is.
You broke your other boots?
Yeah, I broke my other boots in 50 something days.
How did you do that?
I've never seen that, a dent in the back of my boot where the binding sits.
Yeah.
It just the plastic dented. I've never seen that, but yeah.
Because you're just putting so much force on them.
Yeah, I guess
the binding's just digging into the plastic.
Yeah,
above the heel.
Yeah, exactly. It just dug in.
Really?
The boot. Yeah, straight up.
Like when you take a thumbnail and stick it into a piece of soap or something.
Exactly, same stuff.
Really?
Just into the plastic boot. So I was just doing the XL and landed once, and it just broke off. Yeah.
Buckled.
Yeah. So
it broke?
Yeah, it just it's not I can show you a picture. It's not broken, but I can't use it anymore. It's just does your binding snap in it? You couldn't snap into it anymore? Yeah, exactly. The binding, it snaps in, but there's always kind of a loose in it.
Right.
Which because of that thing right there.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
The hell, I'll post this onto
the. Yeah, that's pretty weird. But
what?
Yeah.
It's you basically poked a hole in the back of your binding.
Yeah, exactly.
The back of your boot.
Yeah, I've never seen that, but
I haven't either.
Yeah, at least I got a new boot now.
A warranty boot.
Yeah, and I already had touring boots, so that's pretty chill. At least I could ski, and so now we're just trying to dial in that new fit before I leave for Challengers pretty soon.
Yeah. So there's so many things to talk about here. So why don't we, since you brought it up, why don't we get started already? So you're competing. This is your first year competing?
It's my second year competing, for real.
Yeah. Were you really going for it? Traveling to 4 stars?
Last year I just did 1 4-star. It was just more trying it out and seeing if I liked it and if I could do good in it. And this year I was I'll just go for it and see how it goes, and end up doing pretty great.
Yeah, so, you're doing all right. Yeah, you came in second in kicking horse?
Second in kicking and 11th in the 4-star in Revy. Had a small bobble on my 360, but still stoked on my riding though. So.
And then did you do any 2 stars or 3 stars?
No, I just did 2, and I was sitting really high on the list, so I knew I was gonna be good for Challengers. So keeping the money for the Challengers, because pretty low on the budget this year. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So everything you're saying is leading into stuff. Well, let's keep on that. So the challengers, have you heard much information from them about where they're at? Because I know they have all of the information out for the Region 1 challengers. So all the European challengers, I think there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then there was going to be 3 over here. Have they given you, but they haven't released any?
They haven't released yet, like, who's going for sure, but I'm sitting 8th right now, and the Taos was the last one today, and then they take top 27 or 28, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll know probably pretty soon who's going next, and the stops they just told us it's Crested Butte, Silverton, and Kirkwood.
All right, cool, because I knew that,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if I could say anything
Yeah,
about it yet.
no, we got an email like last week, I think, about
Which
it.
is a shame, because I was hoping they'd
Yeah,
have the Whistler comp, right?
I was really hoping to do the Whistler comp in front of all the homies. Would have been pretty nice.
So I was on the mic for the event last year.
Yeah, I remember
I was hoping to do the same again this year, like getting fired up. I love that. I did
I went out to watch it last year. It was a fantastic show to watch.
And you're just like, I want in.
I wanted to be in so bad. The conditions did look super well too last year.
Right, because then you kind of have like home court advantage.
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
bit too, right?
Yeah.
Because you were telling me, like, although you're a Whistler guy.
Yeah, mostly. I park all the time in Creekside, and Peak Chair is pretty much one of the only chair I ride, I would say. This and Red is lots where I am normally, yeah.
Right.
I just chill. I like Peak Chair a lot. There's so many like options you could do. There's all the big alpine lines, and you can combine it with some Kyber laps and do some big
There's a
tree
lot
lines.
there, right? But if it was here, you would have had to been like, all right, I guess I'm skiing Blackcomb every day for the next month.
Yeah, I would probably been practicing a little bit, but not too much though, because I think if they like see you practicing or something, I think before events like that, I think you could get into trouble. So not really sure about
how
it.
are they going to do that?
I don't know how.
Who's going to be at the bottom of Diamond Bowl?
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
So they could, for all intents and purposes, I could be skiing that every day, and they'd be like, "Hey, you shouldn't do this. Like, did you enter a competition? You shouldn't do this."
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair. No,
I'll be like, I'll end up being last.
Yeah.
But I've skied that run like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So what are they gonna do?
I don't.
Even if it's just like scoping, you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
fair.
if you're having it in your home resort and you get a chance to ski it every day, well, that's your advantage.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair. Yeah.
Everybody else could come and like hang out here for a week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then people that are from Kirkwood or Silverton or Crested
They've
Butte, they've got the same in reverse,
For
right?
sure.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, it's a bummer that they're not going to have it up here.
Yeah, I think they decided to do the call before we got the storm, I think, or something, or maybe.
I think
They
there's
just
some other
wanted-
reasons, which will I don't know if I can.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
can say, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I might try and get down to the Kirkwood comp. To be
Nice.
honest with you, we'll see what happens. Just with like free ride guide stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun paying a little bit more attention to like the qualifiers and stuff.
Oh yeah, and I mean, the field is stacked this year. There's so many good riders from Whitewater all around. All the boys from Jackson and all the homies, Tahoe homies are
Alta,
going
Snowbird.
pretty hard. We've got Finn Powell and Locke that are here right now from NZ. They're killing it too. There's so many good riders out there.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a good battle for sure.
Well, and then you have the riders coming down from the FWT,
Oh yeah,
right?
which
So
is lots of them.
it's like a 3-event playoff round.
Yeah.
I love this new.
Oh, yeah.
I love this new format so much. Where it's like you don't like before when you'd have to go and leave for a full year.
Yeah.
To come back, like that was dumb.
That
So
was-
this is good because now it really shows like who's good and
Yeah,
who's
and it's nice because we can compete too against some guys that we're on.
exactly.
You
See,
can
well, that's
compare yourself and see
and that's
like,
the whole point, right? I'm like, are you actually good enough to be on the tour
or not.
And are you good enough
Yeah.
to get to the tour,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
perfect playoff.
No, I think
you know?
I think the new way they're doing it is really nice. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty sick, and I like the Challenger series and stuff. It's pretty cool, and it gets like I've never skied Crested Butte either than Silverton and Kirkwood. Never really skied out in the state that much. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun to. It's always fun to go out and try new mountains.
Yeah,
and
see something
just
new.
shred something new. I've been like been here for like 4 years, just skiing West all the time. And just like last month when I went for a kicking horse in Revi, I was having such a blast just skiing somewhere else again.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Well, like I said, like Blackcomb is somewhere else. Like, so
Yeah,
we were having this conversation before you got here, right?
Yeah.
Like, when I first moved to Whistler, I skied Whistler almost exclusively for like 3 or 4 years. Same thing, tons of harmony laps, lots of peak laps. Like, we did ski school with kind of higher level like teenagers and stuff. So we would go kind of like before the Freeride Club really kind of got going.
Yeah.
And you know, I know that mountain inside and out. I've forgotten a few little things, but every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about this run in a long time, or I haven't been here in a long time, but I know where everything is.
Yeah, you know the spots.
And then, you know, I think after being there a few years and getting to know a lot of the other skiers, and then also being able to park on Blackcomb, it just became Blackcomb. Like I was telling you, like mid 2000s all the way through the 2000 teens, every single skiing team member for Whistler Blackcomb, I would say 90% of them were Blackcomb dark side crew, man. Yeah, you'd just roll up, you'd go up the hill. You'd probably the same for you now with like your crew homies. You can don't make any plans. You just go and wait at the bottom of Glacier Creek, and then because that's the middle of the loop, and you just wait for someone to rip by and be like, oh yeah,
same
sweet.
For me on peak. Just
I bet
always
you this,
pull up, and there's always gonna be a homie somewhere.
And it's cool because like the last couple of years, you know, I've gotten a little bit older, and then a lot of the people that I ski with, they're not skiing as much, you know, families and jobs.
They have something else,
families and jobs, all that kind of stuff. And here I am just still doing the exact same shit, which isn't terrible. Yeah. But I don't see as many of those faces, and it's not the same anymore. Then like talking to a bunch of the crew that like shred Whistler, I'm like, oh, that's what Blackcomb was like 10 years ago, or not even. Yeah. So I've been going over to Whistler quite a bit more lately too. Like I was there for this big storm this past weekend, which was
that storm was phenomenal.
So nice, right? So you've been here for 4 years?
It's my fifth season now.
Fifth season. So have you always lived in your car?
No, it's my second year living in my car, and the first 3 seasons I was here, I was living in the staff housings. First year in my homie's place, and then 2 years after for High's staff housing.
High's? Yeah. Were you working at High's?
Yeah, I was dishy.
When?
Yeah, not last year. I didn't work. The 2 years before.
What year? 2020?
2021 and 2022.
Oh, you must have started right after I left.
Yeah, but probably right after. Yeah. Yeah, because you used to work there.
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah. I hated it. Yeah. It was a good money, but fuck that place.
I mean, my job was shitty. Like the dishy is always shitty, but the food there was so good.
Yeah, you guys got taken care of.
I was getting like beef Wellington every week, just getting spoiled with some good food. That was nice though.
This dog when I worked there, ate better than every other living organism in this town. So people you get people coming in and like order $110 ribeye, and they'll have like 4 bites of it. It's like a steak that big, and they eat like this much of it. So I would just take it in the back, carve off the bone, put it into a thing, and I'd bring it home. So she ate like prime beef probably 4 or 5 nights a week.
Yeah, she was having the best life right there.
Yeah. She's like 8 years old now, but everyone's like, oh, she seems like she's super young. I think it's because she's been
good meat from
some
High's.
prime steak diet. Yeah.
No, I remember like seeing at the dish, like all the plates were just like 2 bites in it.
It's disgusting. I
was like, I just want to eat that.
It's such a waste.
Yeah,
I had a rule. I would never eat food off of somebody's place. I think it's
me too. I had that was my rule, but you would just look at that delicious steak and like,
we had a dude once that would like went and like grabbed the thing off of a plate.
Yeah, and a server? Or?
No, like a like a kitchen, like a dishy.
Yeah,
and like so, put the plate down, and I would go because I had to pack up.
Yeah, pack up for some
to go, and I turn around, this dude's eating. I'm like, what the
fuck
fuck are you doing? He's like, what? I'm like, that's not for you, man.
Yeah, you were just grabbing a box.
Yeah. So we had to like cook a brand new like $100 steak, and I'm like.
And then chef was probably
and the guests choke because they want to leave, and I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, no.
But it is what it is.
Oh yeah, food was amazing though. But I Yeah.
What are you doing for work now?
I don't work in the winters now.
Just ski.
I got Fire and Ice show. Like it's not.
Oh yeah, Fire and Ice. Yeah. I have a bunch of buddies that have always operated Fire and Ice.
Yeah, so I'm doing that.
Did you know Morrow?
Yeah, Morrow's. He's the one I'm texting.
He's still running. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's still running it.
He's living in Hawaii, but he's running.
He's the one that got me in. I mean, Jake Carney, my homie, plugged me with Morrow, and then Morrow texted me, and now I'm on. So that's a nice little gig. I get a pass, and you
get 4 hours of work every week.
And it's pretty chill.
And
I mean, it doesn't feel like work. You're just going skiing and doing
like
some flips with the
Jesse
homies.
who runs the
Jesse's still there.
Big Bird.
Yeah.
He's like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He's the guy I would ski every day with on Blackcomb.
Sick.
And then Robbo, does Rob still work there?
Yeah,
Robbo and Big Jesse. I play baseball with all those guys.
Yeah.
That's a good crew. They asked me to do if I wanted to do the announcing.
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
factual. You could have been pretty good
I was
for
like,
doing
no,
that too.
I don't want.
You don't.
I was like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, man.
Fair enough.
Because they'd always complain about having to go do Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
Because they had like their regular jobs and stuff, so they would like.
They're like,
they do it for a pass, and it was a little extra money, but they'd always bitch about having to. Oh, I got to do Fire and Ice tonight. So
I think for the pass, it's so worth it.
Yeah. So for like, 10 years of hearing those guys complain about it, they're like, oh, do you want to do it? I'm like, fuck no. No, man, I don't want to do that. I'm like, fair, like, no. I don't, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Plus, I always worked at nights for a long time, but now that I'm not, I'm like, but I get my pass sorted out, so
that's cool.
I don't need to do it for a
Fair
pass.
enough.
And to be honest with you, I've lived here for I don't know if this is my 23rd or 24th. I just kind of lost count.
Yeah.
I've only seen Fire and Ice once.
Damn, that's really crazy.
I've only been there. I've only seen it once. It's an alright show.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been once too before performing there. Yeah,
it was at the Challengers.
Yeah,
the Challengers last year. They had like the riders meeting, and it was right after the riders meeting last year. So I stood and watched it with a bunch of
Fair enough.
And they were all like, "Wow, this is cool."
Yeah.
But me, I'm like,
that's pretty.
Yeah, sure, fine. So what do you do for work in the summertime?
In the summer, I normally go back home in Quebec, and my good homies, their dad owns a shop back home, so I normally go and help them work at the ski shop a little bit.
Yeah,
and
slash bike shop.
Yeah, slash bike shop, and I was giving some wakeboard lessons this summer.
Oh yeah,
in Sherbrooke, which is the town right next to my town. I live in Magog, like an hour 15 minutes from Montreal.
Yep.
In the Eastern Township, and I was driving there like 15 minutes to go to work, and then I would just drive the boat and give some lessons to people all day. It was pretty chill and just getting tanned. It was pretty nice.
That's awesome.
Nice fun. Yeah.
Did you just grow up like your family had a boat and there's like a lake
no,
there?
it's just my parents they do have a boat. I'm lucky I live like not next to the lake, because our lake back home is all the houses next to it. You need to be pretty rich. I mean,
like the houses on this street.
It's pretty similar to here. It's like all like, I don't know, I'd say like minimum $2 million houses, and just like the terrain is probably
lakefront property.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. It's like super expensive. So
that stuff's super.
We got we're fortunate to have a river that connects to the lake, so we got an access to go there. So that.
So you put the boat in the river?
Yeah, we got a river that goes to the.
Oh, no way!
Lake, yeah. But,
that's a cheat code right there.
Yeah, exactly. So my dad doesn't pay too crazy price to be there.
And you don't have to like you don't have to drive the boat in. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just my dad always had that, and then I've got two homies that been doing that for a long time back in Sherbrooke, and they're like, we're looking for new guys this year if you want to help out. I was like, looks like a nice summer job for sure. I was like,
I was expecting like I'm gonna go and do some construction or some tree planting or something where you're busting your ass and making like a ton of money, but like just working in a bike shop is.
I went more chill this summer, but next summer I'll do the big work
if you have to.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens next.
Hey, you never know, man. Like with the way that your star is rising, your ski career is rising, you may not have to do that stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
You never know.
Yeah, I really want to buy a sled, so sled and
maybe
truck
you should
is
too.
the next thing in the list. So we'll see. probably will need to work lots to buy that, but we'll see what comes in the future.
Right. So back to like this car business.
Yeah.
So I don't know who it was I was talking to recently on the show, and we were like, does the like traditional ski bum still exist?
Yeah.
Like, is it even possible, right?
You still do that.
Where you know you're living in a dirty old camper, or you're living in like a car that isn't a $70,000 Sprinter conversion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people now, they're like, well, I live in my car. I'm like, it's
yeah.
nicer than my house, you know?
200K van or something.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. It's like, let me go. He's like, oh, check out this new sauna attachment I added to the back.
You're living in your car now.
Yeah, but no, you're like legit living in your car.
Yeah, fully legit. And my car's a 2008 Honda Fit. It's pretty small, but I make it happen.
Right? Like, so when I watched, if you want to see his car, ABM skier has got a YouTube channel where he like goes and knocks on your door and wakes you up in the underground parking.
We've got an MTV
Cribs
kind of video on ABM's YouTube channel.
Yeah, so he was like a Honda Fit, and I was thinking like the Cube, or like the kind of those little van things.
Yeah.
But no, it's just it's just like a pardon. It's a shitty little
Yeah,
sedan.
it is.
You're living in a shit box.
It's a shit box for sure. Yeah,
Which is
it's my first ever car too. That I've been having that. It's my seventh year with that car.
And it
has so much mileage.
It's pretty amazing to me that you're pulling this off. So like, and it fascinates me because shit is so expensive these days.
Yeah.
Right? That I'm surprised it isn't like more of a thing. You know, like we said, do ski bums even really exist? Because, you know, which is weird because I would think there'd be more of them.
Same for me. I mean, last year we were like 2-3 guys from Quebec. I had 2 of my homies doing the same thing, and we were like always a squad in the Creekside Underground parking lot.
Yeah.
You could always see us in there.
And are you, how long are you allowed to park there before you get booted out?
I mean, it depends. Like, if you have a van that they see you're sleeping in it, they'll probably kick you out after like 2 or 3 days. But in my small car, I don't think they think it's possible to be sleeping in that. So I'm just... I stayed for a month and a half, I think, didn't move last year. Same spot, and I didn't get anything.
Are you sure you want to put this out? You don't want to get your...
No, I'm pretty chill with it. Anyways, it's my last season doing that for sure.
Yeah, man, because it's got to be trying. Like, for me, like, there's no way in hell I'm doing that again. But I'm not... How old are you?
23.
Yeah, so I'm not in my early 20s anymore. Even then, I don't know if I would be able to pull it off.
I mean, it's a big commitment, but I get to ski every day. I don't have a job. I can
ski every day. And I have a nice house to live in.
But like, I don't know. I like just going skiing, and then I got a pass at Meadow Park. So I always when I finish skiing, I always go for a little stretching, and then good like 15-20 minutes in the sauna, and then the hot tub, and then chill a little bit and come back. And sometimes I'll try to go and chill at my homie spots and stuff, but just try to pass time for the next skiing day just
and
after.
that's a lot of what it is too. Is like, a lot of people are like, how do you do it? But it's not even how do you do it, it's just how do you fill the time.
It just try to spend your time like doing, like, I don't know, you go for a walk, or
like, do you find yourself going up the hill even in days you don't really want to go skiing?
For
and
sure.
Just go chill in the lodge and read the newspaper?
I've done that a few times. Like last year I went pretty much, last year I went every day I was here. I skied I had 171 days on my pass last year.
Holy.
And took...
How many was it like 190 something for the...
180, I think, the full year.
So you just missed like 9 days.
So I missed like 9 days, but I was gone for a week to Kicking Horse.
Right.
And I took 2 days off last year, one to go to Kicking and one to come back. Didn't take a day off.
See?
Just skied every day.
And is a lot of it like, A, I love to ski, but B, is it also like I just have to have something to do because I have nowhere to go?
I would say 95% of the time, just my passion of skiing. I'm just so passionate about it. I just love skiing. I wouldn't see myself doing anything else. And there's lots of times too where for sure, like if it's like minus 30 or minus 20, I would I would just go for a few laps and chill in the roundhouse or the rendezvous for a few hours and
right. And like I was going to ask you that too. When it gets to like -20 here, are you just crashing at buddy's place like on the couch and stuff?
I'm really fortunate. I mean, it's my 5th season, so now I know lots of people.
You got a good
here.
core group of friends.
I got a good crew of friends, and like last time that was -20, -25 for a week. Like at least 5 or 6 homies texted me like, if you're gonna sleep in your car, come at the crib and sleep on the couch for the week. You like ABM and all those. I've got a bunch of homies that
looking out for you.
Looking up for me. That's really fortunate about that. That's for sure helps for.
So what are you doing for like meals and stuff? Do you eat out every meal, or are you eating like a shit ton of peanut butter and jam sandwiches?
I eat lots of Cliff Bars. That's a big part of my regime.
Are you over it yet?
Yeah, I am. But it is what it is. But lots of Cliff Bars, and in the morning I always go to Tim Hortons normally, so I can charge my phone and chill there a little bit.
Right.
And then I eat breakfast lots of time there, and Cliff Bar pretty much all the time when I'm skiing, and then I will do a big meal for the night. So either at my friend's place, or I got like a little stove and just like. You
start cooking in the underground?
Yeah, and then the underground is pretty chill to cook there. I mean, if it's pretty cold, it stays a bit warmer in there. It stays like 5 degrees temperature. So if it's like -20, you can go there inside and you're pretty chill and make some food. And normally I've never been told by anyone that I can't really do it. So everyone's chill with it. So
right. Yeah. As long as you're not causing problems.
Yeah, I guess like if I'm cleaning after and it doesn't look like you're just throwing food everywhere.
Yeah. Leave no trace.
Yeah, exactly. Leave no trace and you'll be chill, I guess.
Do you skate?
No, I don't skate. I bike a lot.
Because I know there used to be like a little skate park down on the bottom level.
There is still one though.
Is there?
There's always people skating.
So
there.
You can just cruise down and hang out and watch and chill.
Yeah, I've been a few times just like going there and see some homies that are skating. I don't really like skating because I've never been really good, and I don't want to hurt myself.
Right.
But yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah, 100% on. Yeah.
Ollie or something.
100%.
I would kill myself if I couldn't ski after.
100%.
Just because I crashed on a skateboard.
So are there anybody? Is it just you now that you know of that's like doing this in town? Because I talked to Hugo Harrison earlier this season, and he used to live in lot 4, like back before 2010 or 2009, before the lots were paved. They were all free. Yeah. And
at the bottom.
In the village too, right? Yeah, we were so pissed when they paved those.
That's for sure.
But yeah, you just like, it was like a whole community that people lived there, you know? And like now it doesn't seem to be as much. But is there like a crew in town now that are like...
I mean, there's not a big crew like one area. I know lots. I got a few homies in their vans or buses. Like, got a friend that lives in his bus at Cheekamus Road. He just parks it there, and he has his car to drive around town. I got some.
He's got a car and a van.
Yeah, car and a big bus. It's pretty nice setup. He's nicely set up, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know lots of people go to like Wedge Mountains and stuff.
Down the bottom there.
That's a good spot, but there's not much. I don't see much people like in Wiss, I would say. People are like spreading out and hiding a bit more, I think.
Yeah, because they're gonna get booted out. They're not allowed. They're not allowed, and that's one of the reasons I think it's like harder to do it now. Like
exactly.
Like I said, you'd expect it to happen more because everything is so unbelievably
expensive.
It's to the point where it's almost not even affordable.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So, like, I'm surprised there are still enough people here to work and live. And,
it's pretty wild how expensive it is.
Like, even when I first moved here, I was struggling. I remember weeks where I had $5 to my name.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have $5 a day. Yeah. Until I get paid.
Oh yeah, and we've all been there.
Yeah,
for sure,
right. And that was in like early 2000s. And like now things are so much more expensive. I'm struggling. Not struggling, but like it's difficult now. And I know the game. I know this place. I know how it works. I have I don't pay for gear. I don't pay for passes. Like if I wanted to do that now, there's no way.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised there's not more people doing it too, because honestly, really not that bad. Like
I said, the a lot of them are, but it's in a $120,000.
Yeah, exactly. Like
tricked out Sprinter van.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and if you're in a small car, like it's not the best setup, but like you don't get bothered at all. I can park my car. I can sit at lot 4 and they would probably not even know that I'm sleeping.
Like I spent like I've done it for like a month here and a month there, like while I was traveling and stuff. Like buy a car when you're traveling, same kind of thing. And just, like,
for sure.
And it's
or like
fine.
Rent a car and just sleep in it.
Yeah, like and that's fine. But
Yeah.
like I don't know if I could live in it, man. Like I like my creature comforts. Like let's say I didn't have the big dog, right? But even so, it's like
you like your little comfort.
I love being able to take a dump.
Oh, for sure.
On a toilet that I'm
That's for
familiar with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No.
Like, do you ever go to your friend's place and you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, no. For sure. Sometimes it gets in the head a little bit, but like, even at first, I was not sure at all. Last year was the first time I did it. And when I came back from Quebec, I was talking to my mom and stuff, and she's like, you sure you're going to be capable to do that? And like, you don't need your like little spot and having your little like
your creature comforts.
Yeah, exactly, and just like having a spot to dry my stuff and like do everything and like laundry and
was it a conscious decision to do this? You're like, I'm gonna live in my car this year, or was it just like I couldn't find any place to live, so I'm just gonna do it?
It was because my two of my good friends did it the year just before, and I saw them do it, and I was like, doesn't look bad at all. They don't have a job. They're just always chilling. They go to the spa, they chill, and they ski every day.
Yeah, what a life, eh? Skiing all day and like chill.
I want to do that, so I was like, I'm gonna try it out.
Chilling. How much is the Meadow Park pass?
It's
Meadow Park, for those listening, is like the rec center in Whistler.
Yeah, it is I think it's $340 for 6 months. Which is pretty,
that's super cheap.
Super cheap.
Oh, okay.
And you get I can go play basketball. There's you can go and skate. There's the gym.
Swim in the pool.
There's a sauna, steam room. It's like everything you want pretty much is it's a sweet deal, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I was gonna be like, why don't you look into like going to like Scandinavia because they have those monthly passes
too.
But that's like $200 a month.
Yeah,
$200 a month. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be nice though. Scandinavia looks pretty.
You gotta either get a job there or like get like a sponsorship. Yeah,
a sponsorship from them would be nice.
Yeah, that'd
be sweet.
Are you a skid living in your car? Come on down, Scandinavia spot.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice for sure.
So what do you do with your gear? Like putting on cold, wet, like when it's fucking pissing rain, or those days like last week.
Yeah.
Where those big, wet, heavy flakes, and you just get covered, and then when you start skiing out and you get down
completely wet.
Yeah, you get down like about halfway down Excalibur, and you're just like, okay, I'm
just soaked. Yeah. Last year I was really fortunate. I had buddy Tom Pfeiffer that was leaving me dry my gear at his mom's place in Bayshore.
Yeah,
I was going there, and he would just give me the code, and I would just go there after skiing every day and just drop my stuff there. And this year, I think he's got people renting, so he can't unfortunately.
So you just go like again. So you wouldn't stay there. You just go.
No, I would just drop my stuff
in like the gear room.
Yeah, it's in his entrance of the
like a mud room. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little room, and he has a big dryer with like 15 or like 18
the boot
spots.
dryers.
So he's super chill. He's like, just come whenever and drop your stuff. So really fortunate about that. And this year, it's been a bit harder. I've been like going to some homie spots when it's like really wet, or like last week when it was pow every day. I would get back and I was completely soaked. So I have another homie. I don't know if you know him, Will Gano. He's a pretty big skier from here.
Yeah, race guy.
Yeah, big race guy, and he leaves me dry my stuff right now at his place. So
French connection.
Yeah, so for now I'm going at his place, and we'll see for later.
And then what about like laundry and all that kind of stuff?
Laundry, I just
friends' places.
Yeah, I just go.
Is there a laundromat in town still?
I think so, but I've never been. I think maybe Southside Dinner has.
Yeah, Southside. Yeah, Southside has
and
one.
Maybe another one, but
I didn't know if that still existed.
I just go like ABMs, or I always go to someone's place and just dry my stuff and do
That's
my laundry.
sweet. And then when you roll up to these places, or do you bring like a case of beer, or are you like bringing like snacks, or like bags of chips?
Yeah,
and
I'll
stuff?
try to bring something, or just like make dinner or like something. Yeah, for sure.
Wild, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this year has been a little easier because it hasn't been that cold or wet.
Yeah, I mean,
up until now.
The like first part of this season was pretty easy because like it wasn't too cold and like my gear didn't get really wet. I would like my ski boots were soggy, but it wasn't.
Right. That
was the only thing. And then, but when it's pouring snow like it was last week, it is harder for sure. Yeah. But I'm fortunate to have some good homies. So
what's some of like the like something that I wouldn't expect, like something that like you didn't expect that's like challenge or like I haven't, like I said, I haven't lived in my car. Like, something that somebody wouldn't think about, which is like, oh man, this is either great or either way, it's either great or something that you wouldn't expect, which is like kind of annoying that you wouldn't think about.
I'd say like when I'm sleeping in my car at night, it gets so like, how do you say, like
the condensation?
Moist, or
the condensation. Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest problems. Just like after my sleeping bag gets like all like not wet, but like
damp,
and it never really dries out that much. And like I have all of my my clothing and my like ski gear in some boxes in my car, so it's like nicely
keeping it dry.
Yeah, keeping it dry. But even though sometimes it gets, you can feel like my t-shirt when I put it on, it's like a little more like
it's
like
wet. Damp. Yeah, like when
I
you're
would
camping.
say that's probably one of the biggest problems. Yeah,
it's like when you're camping.
Yeah, it feels like when you're camping.
It's pretty much what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah. I mean I've never done it in the summer. Summer would be pretty chill, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
Same thing, but just in reverse. You just have to go somewhere so you're not super hot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just jump in a lake.
Yeah, just gonna. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of lakes here, so that would be pretty chill for that.
Interesting, man. Yeah. Well, that's pretty wild, because it doesn't really happen much anymore. And like the true ski bum, like I said, I asked this question to someone today, but it's true. Here you go. You're looking right at him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The true ski bum. But so you're in your Honda Fit, but you had an issue. Yeah. You had a big, like almost disastrous event.
Almost ended up the winter in December.
You almost had to get a place to stay.
Yeah, almost was really. I was unlucky, but lucky.
All right, why?
I hit a bear going to the village in which I think it was like around the 18th of December. I was sure bears were sleeping, but
and even so, like even if it's in the summer, you don't expect a bear to like.
Yeah, no, exactly. And
was it in the village? Was it on the highway?
It was just before the village on the highway, just coming. When you're going down Brio, the bus stop right there. It just came out the woods and jumped in front of my car. Just boom.
While you're on the highway.
While I was
how fast were you going?
60.
Yeah.
I was going 60. I was just listening to music and then just looking in front, and then I just saw something moving in the forest. I was like, probably like chill, and it just jumped straight in front, and boom. I was like, holy shit. And then I just stopped. I was like, oh no, that can't be true. Like that's my house. I'm like, it can't.
You
weren't
thinking about like, is the bear okay?
No, I wasn't even thinking if bear is okay. I was just thinking of like, how am I going to go to comps? How am I gonna drive around town? Like that's literally everything I have right now.
What happened to the bear? I need to know more about this bear.
Yeah, the bear he jumped. I hit him and just goes back straight in the woods, and he just ran off.
Did you hit do you know what part of the bear you hit?
I hit his ass.
Oh, so the rump.
Yeah.
So he probably was super bruised.
Yeah, probably just bruised, and then he just walked out in the woods. I was like, at least he walked out. So I was like, yeah, that's
he did
chill.
Get up and walk away.
Yeah, he just walked away. Yeah,
but still
pretty wild. And then I just get out my car. I'm like looking at the damage it done, and
did you call the cops right away?
I called the.
Be like, hey, was there like pieces of like fur and shit in
there? I called the cops.
You're like, oh, seriously, I
hit a bear, and then I didn't know what to do, and then called my dad and everything. I was like, what am I supposed to do and stuff? So I just like took off my bumper so I could still drive. Went back to the Creekside Underground to look at the damage, and then I saw my front light was completely exploded. I was really lucky; it hit my left side, the driver's side in front.
Yeah.
And it just broke my light. If it would have been on the other side, it would have broken my light and all the like liquid fluids for motors and everything.
Oh,
like
right,
it would have
yeah.
really probably totaled my car.
Yeah.
And now I was fortunate just to break the light, and I just ordered a new light online. I put it back on, tie wrapped the bumper back on. And
Did you not call like the insurance company or anything?
I'm just like covered on one side, and I know my dad told me we're not covered for animals crossing and stuff. So I was like,
for bears.
yeah. So I just bought a light for $200 and put it back on, and it's still
Is the
still
bumper
running.
back on?
Yeah, the red bumper's back on, and it has a little dent on it, but everything runs, and it's pretty chill. It's pretty wild. I have never thought in my life I would hit a bear, especially here, but.
This is the place you would hit a bear.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I never thought it would happen to me. Just like
I don't think I've ever even seen that.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Like-
But yeah, at least I'm good. The car's still running.
And hopefully the bear's
The
fine.
bear, it looked like it was fine. Hopefully he's chilling. But
Oh my
yeah,
god, that's
it
too.
was that was a pretty wild one for sure.
That's too funny,
Yeah.
man. Like that's really funny.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
And it still runs, eh?
Yeah, it still runs. I mean, it's seen some better days for sure. But yeah.
Probably. Bet you it doesn't smell that great either, does it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm probably used to the scent inside.
Yeah, you get
but
in. Yeah.
Probably when the homies pull up.
So what happens? So like, say you're like Garfs or something on a Thursday night, right? And you meet a nice young lady.
Yeah.
And you're having a good time, and like, so then what happens? You're like,
And yeah, I gotta.
do you want to come back to my
I've never
to my place?
Never brought back a girl in the car. But,
Do you think that's keeping you from it?
Probably not. I think it's
Go
just,
back to her place,
I think
right?
it's just me. I'm just too concentrated in skiing. I don't honestly, when it's winter, I don't go out as much.
Yeah.
I go out like for the occasions, like maybe after the comps or like for the tour at Kicking Horse instead, or like stuff like
Because
that.
you want to get up and ski.
Yeah, exactly. If not, I don't really like going to the bars anymore. It's too expensive.
It's expensive, but
after that, you can't go ski. You'll wake up. You'll be all like.
well, you can go and not drink
yeah.
too. But then I was also thinking like something to do. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like fill in that time space, like you were saying.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I could go just
Maybe
chill with the homies and not drink. And
Or maybe
like,
when it's really cold and you can't, your buddy,
Yeah,
you don't have a
that's-
place to crash
yeah,
with your buddy's place. You
yeah,
can just find
that could be
find a nice warm
yeah,
body to.
That could be pretty nice too. But yeah, and in the winters, I'm just fully
Focused.
I'm so focused on my skiing that it just, I don't know. I don't think about that too much. So yeah.
Fair enough. All right, so let's get to that skiing business. Because like I said, you've been kind of like blowing up all over my Instagram and like the social media. And like, I'm like, who's this Je Paq kid?
Yeah, it's been a really good year for sure.
And the thing, I'd seen bits and pieces of you. And
Yeah.
then what really kicked it off was that fucking triple front flip.
Yeah, that was
Which was nuts, dude. So, like, okay, you got to walk me through this. Tell me
Yeah.
the whole story. Like, where were you? Where was it? How
Yeah.
did it come about?
So it was, I think, if I believe, like beginning of January, around the 8th or 9th of January, I was with my homies. It was a bluebird day. We were just riding peak. It was a super nice day. I think we hit the wind lip that day, did a few flips, and then we were about to go down to go and do a Kybers to finish off the day and just go back home.
Yeah.
And we enter Cake Hole, which is the backside of Peak, and we were just like, oh, it looks so good, and the view is amazing. It's so stunning over there. And I just saw a roller, and I was like, boys, we had our backpacks and everything with our shovels. I was like, we should just build a booter. It's sunny. We haven't done it this year. It's always fun to just build a jump and sesh it a little bit.
And that time of year, too, like at that time of day, the sun is so low in the sky that it's just this beautiful,
So
gorgeous
beautiful.
light.
Oh,
And
yeah.
sunsets at like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And you have beautiful black dust right there.
Yeah.
The view is insane. So it was like, might as well just build a jump and go and hit it a few times. And then so we start building the jump. Took us like, it was probably one of the jumps I've built the fastest. It took us like, it wasn't really that big. It took us like 40 minutes, I think. I was with 5 of my homies from Quebec, and then built it. Went up, we tracked the in run, and then told the boys, I'm like, probably gonna try cork 7 and then dub 10, because I've never done dub 10 before, and that's a trick I really want to do. It's in my bucket list, and I was like, might be the day to try that. So I go up, I'm on top of the in run. I'm like, I'm going for cork 7. So I tell them I'm dropping in. I go, and
they all got their phones out.
Yeah, they all got their phones out, and I'm just like maybe 20 feet or like 10 feet before the jump, and I see we didn't build it like wide enough to like properly set the cork 7.
Right.
Because I like having a little bit wider jump so I can like kind of carve and like, have a better like, if it's too small, it's pretty hard to set.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know what happened in my head. I was just like, I'll just go dub fronty. So I just went dub fronty first try, and went way bigger than I thought. Like, stopped my spin a little bit. I landed a bit in front of my boots, double tomahawk.
Yeah.
And then I
was hoping you'd be like, I just did the triple right there.
Yeah, and then I just woke up. I've not woke up. I just stand up, and I was like, I didn't feel anything. It was big. I think I can go bigger. I was like, boys, I think we're going triple right now. And they're like, no way, you're not. I'm like, I think it's right now. Like, I've never had an opportunity to do it.
Right.
I've been telling my boys back home and all the homies here, I'm like, gonna do a triple like pretty soon. I've been telling that for 2 years, I think. So I was like, got the opportunity.
And who knew it was going to be a front flip?
got a 6 squat. I was like, might as well just try it out. And I was on top. I've never been that stressed in my life. I was so scared, and just like, it was insane feeling of being on top there. And I was like, I waited maybe like 30 seconds, take my breath, and I was just like, boys, I'm dropping in 10, and then pull up the phones. We had pretty much all the angles figured out.
I've only seen one angle.
Yeah.
I bet you there's
Yeah.
Oh no, was there 2 on that one clip that everybody sees?
I posted 2 angles on my IG, but the classic one that everyone probably saw is the bottom angle filmed on the GoPro. My friend Bruno, that was right there, and so I just went for it. I was in the air. I did my first one, did the second one. I spotted the snow at the second 1.5. I was like, oh, it's coming pretty fast. Hucked it again. After I just see lots of snow go off, my lens of my goggle just snapped off, and I just skied out. I was like, there's no way. There's actually no way I just landed that. And
did you hit your knee on your goggles?
Honestly, I don't even know. Like,
and it's cool because that angle makes it look like you didn't backslap or anything. It's just like an explosion, and you ski out of it.
It just felt like that. I just like, I don't really know if I hit something. I just like big impact, and I just rode out, and felt like I was dreaming. I was like,
and everybody lost their minds.
And then with the sunset, everything, it was picture perfect. I was like, there's no way I just stomped that. And
I bet you guys partied hard that night.
Oh, we did. I think we went to Bill's, I think, that night. Yeah. I was like, boys, we gotta celebrate tonight. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And like, you went crazy viral. Like, you were the biggest thing in ski media that whole week.
Oh yeah, that was really big. And the funny story about it too, the day after I went for a cabin trip. So I was out for 3 or 4 days, because we went 2 nights in a cabin trip at Keith's Hut. So I was out for 3 days just after I posted the video.
So you had no idea.
I had no idea it went viral. I mean, I kind of knew it was gonna be big, one of my biggest videos, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that big. And so I was just chilling with my friends. We had one of the best it was my first cabin trip, so best cabin trip I had so far. We had some like good blower, like 30 cm. It was that cold week, so nobody was there. We were alone. It was so good. And then I get back in the Duffy's. I just get the service back, and then my phone just stops fucking. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what? And then I just open a message of one of my homies, and there's just a screenshot with 2 million views. I'm like, whoa. I didn't believe it. And then I go and see my Instagram followers. They just went double. Went from 5K to 10K. I was like, what? That's insane. So yeah, it went crazy viral, and I wasn't even there to like see all of it. So I came back, there was like 1,800 comments, 140K likes. I was just trying to like, comprehend what happened and trying to like respond to everyone. It was
Maybe it's almost good that you went away for it, you know?
Yeah.
So you come back and like, oh, this happened.
Oh yeah, and we were all in the car. All of my homies were like, no way. Everyone was, it was pretty nice.
While you're driving through Pemberton, been like,
yeah, we're just driving through we just got the cell service going to.
Because right when you get to the bottom of the hill,
get right down to the bottom of the hill, and just everything pops. I'm like, dude, there's no way, and everyone's just watching that. I'm like, and then we see it's on literally every ski page.
All those pages that like steal everybody's content. Yeah,
just like so many.
Sometimes that's good. Sometimes I hate it where people are like, they're just gonna like, because you didn't send it to any of them.
No,
they just ripped it off. You know what I mean? But and like, would you get to a point where you saw a bunch that weren't tagging you? Most of them were. All the big page tagged me, so I was like, that's fine for you. Yeah, you don't care.
Even got reposted on Barstool's big page. I was like,
that's right.
God damn, that's wild.
Barstool. That's like gone. That's when you know you've done something that goes beyond the ski industry,
I was
right?
like New Schoolers, that's sick. Like all the big brands, and then Barstool's like, oh, that's like. Up there. That's
like mainstream. That's like not even skiing.
No,
like,
exactly. So
they'll show you like 3 snowboard or ski things a year, and you're like, exactly. I made one of those.
I was like, damn, I'm in there. So that was pretty surprising. I was pretty hyped on that.
That's pretty sweet. And like, so you've been working with Pangea this year, which is I guess a pretty new kind of agency, that are working a lot with like Freeride World Tour riders. I think they got started. One of their first guys was with Michael Mann. And they got a handful now that are on the tour. I think like Tim Schrader.
Yeah, Tim Schrader is on. They got Michael. They got they have Colton and Kendall that just got out of the tour, but they were on this year. And then I'm missing some for sure, but they've got a few athletes.
Yeah, and then so how did that? So Noah reached out to me. They reached out to me. And like, hey, check this out. Like Je Paq's blowing up. Do you want to have him on the podcast? And I'm like, maybe. Let me look into it. Yeah. And like, I got to figure out who this guy is. Is it just like a one-trick wonder? Yeah. Is he, so I like did a little research, followed you, and just paid a little bit of attention, asked around. And I'm like, yeah, he'd be down I think he'd be good for a podcast. And then you kept showing up. Yeah. Right? Watching your stuff that you've done since, like you're getting podiums on the 4 stars, and you're still skiing every day. You're getting tons of clips, and I'm like, oh, this kind of reminds me of like when like Marcus Gauguin, for instance, right? Like all of a sudden he just appeared.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I didn't know who that kid was, and I remember
you just kept seeing him.
Like the famous Jordan video where he does backy on third step after that went viral. Yeah. And then you just keep seeing him. And he just keeps showing up and keeps showing up. Yeah. And it's like, all right, they're going to pay attention. And now he's just won Georgia. You're like, dang.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of how a lot of it goes is over the years I've had people that had been slowly, building themselves up, and they've been on the show, and then some people have like made it, and then sometimes they haven't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's kind of you kind of following that same thing. I'm like, who's this kid? And then you keep putting stuff up, and I'm like, oh, he's in Whistler too. I'm like, all right, well that's gonna help getting him over here, because every once in a while I need episodes every once in a while too,
Yeah, for sure.
So it's been really cool to watch. So they reached out to me, and they're like, hey, you want to have him on the show? And I'm like, oh, let me look into it. We'll see. And then I was like, yeah, after you were like in Golden, and then you won, or you podiumed there, I was like, and I asked a few people around, like, oh yeah, he's good shit. I'm like, all right, let's get him on. I'm down. Yeah.
And then I stayed to watch the tour because kind of have to. I mean, it's always so fun to watch the boys go off. And
I had so much fun at that comp.
I had the opportunity to forerun this year too. Which
you did, you did a good job fun, too.
Yeah. I wasn't the best skiing I've ever pulled out, but the snow was kind of weird, I would say, for them, which is really impressive what they pulled off, which like honestly was one of the weirdest snow to ski. Like it was like different every like 3 turns. The snow would change from like wind affected to like sun affected to like it was pretty crazy, and with the crust under
it was awful.
It was hard to ski.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, and I mean, it was better than the comp we did, because
the one that you guys did was the worst conditions I've ever seen ever.
A complete sheet of ice, pretty much.
Yeah, I was there for the first day, the snowboard women, and then they shut the entire mountain down because the whole mountain was starting to slide and peel away, and then I ended up leaving. I ended up going back to Revel the Stoke the next day. I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, no, I was pretty much like
he podiumed on like the gnarliest, like awfulest.
Yeah. I mean,
shitty, whatever adjective you want to use, it was the worst snow I've ever seen.
That's probably my Quebec roots pulling.
Yeah, there you go. That's why the Kiwis always do so well on the tour, because they do nothing but ski garbage snow all the time, and they're like,
that's what That's what
they're like,
man,
this is good.
On back in the days all the time. So I'm like,
right,
yeah.
So Pangea, how did that end up? How did that come together for you?
That
was that before the?
Yeah, it was. Actually, it's like 3 years ago. I was. The first year they started, they got like a few guys on, and then they were like seeing some of my clips going, and they're like, guy from Quebec could be nice to like.
When was this?
It was.
Was that a couple of years ago, or was it this year?
Yeah, no, it was like 3 years ago, I think.
Really? So that far back?
Yeah, it was when they launched, pretty much.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was like maybe like the 10th rider to be like presented after.
Oh, right.
But like a same. Yeah, it was probably 2 years ago, I think.
Interesting.
And they just texted me on Instagram, and then I got a call with Noah.
Yeah.
And we just. He's like, you down to join the squad? And they're like telling us what they're doing and stuff. I was like, that sounds pretty.
And
sweet.
then have they been able to like find you partners or sponsors? Like, what's their primary? What was the primary like deal with them? Like, what do they come to you and say? Hey, this is what we can do for you.
He was like, we're like basically your manager, and so we'll be helping you getting more brand deals, or like staying with the same company but getting more stuff, and try to film a little bit too, which they're more in Park City and everything, I think right now, but they did help me grow with the brands I was already with, so now I'm just getting more stuff from everyone, which is pretty nice from them. And we would try to film some stuff, but they're pretty far away. We'll try to link maybe a trip.
I'm sure you've raised, gone a little higher on their priority list.
Yeah, probably too.
In the last year or so.
Yeah, so we'll see in the future, but it would be fun to like film. I've always been dreaming to film like a project, solo project, like a bit like Sammy Carlson and all those boys. That's what I would really like to do, but I unfortunately don't have a filmer right now, so
or the budget
to have a filmer. So
have you connected with any like the local crews so far, like with like like Joey Kraft and his crew?
I haven't. Only in the park last spring when they were all there. Joey texted me this year he'd really like to get me out and do some filming, but the thing is they do always go on sleds and stuff, and I don't have one right now.
It's a barrier for entry.
That's
kind of
the like that's what makes me kind of stuck to a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta get a truck and a sled, or at least a sled and a trailer.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the next plan in the list for sure. Next year I'll figure out a way to have one, but I maybe we'll try to make something happen with Joey, because I really like his work. He's been killing it right now. He's so talented, and they're working with one of my good friend Jacob Belanger from Quebec too, so it would be nice to film something with him. We used to ski park back in the days, the both of us too, so would be nice to do a little
park segment or something, like
video. We could do like everything, like a little bit of park, a little bit of like POW, a little bit of street, whatever. It would be nice, yeah. And
like you like you're buds with ABM, right? Like you're on Volkl, right? So is he, and then like there's a good crew of Volkl athletes in town, like Ian McIntosh and Kai now as well. So are you like getting in on any of these like Volkl missions or Volkl trips?
I'm just getting to know all the. ABM was he's pretty much a reason I'm on Volkl International this year. he sent a big email to Shinka, which is the team manager of Volkl, and he was like, I know that kid, he's from Quebec, he's a super nice guy, he wants to try and get on the tour and everything. It's like, could you maybe like give him more support this year, just like more skis, more boots and more stuff? I was like, yeah. So he hooked it up, so that's super fun. And I've known ABM for like 2 or 3 years now, so he's a pretty good homie. I just met Kai Peterson like last spring a little bit, but I would really like to go and film with all of those guys. It would be really nice. Like,
right, and
I don't know Ian, unfortunately, but does look like a really nice guy. I love his skiing too.
He's a good dude. Yeah,
super nice skier.
Good guy to learn from.
Yeah,
sure. And like Kai is too. Like
Kai is one of my idols and inspiration for sure. I really like his skiing and stuff. Like,
that's cool. I love this stage of your career because like you're hungry. You're giving everything you have for it. Everything about it is skiing. Yeah, and you're kind of doing it in the right step, and it's kind of fun watching you. You know, I'm sure the next time we'll talk, I'll be like, hey, what's going on? And you'll say, oh, I've gotten this done, or I've done this with these people, and like you're just at that stage where the snowball's made and it's just been pushed, and it's just starting. Oh yeah, it's just starting, right? And now you've got like these affiliations with like good brands like Volkl. Yeah, you're skiing with Orage too, correct?
Yeah, I ski for Orage, Volkl,
and like ABM's Orage too, right?
ABM,
so
me and ABM pretty much have the same sponsors. I'm on the Eau Claire too, which are
the gloves,
Quebec brand.
Which sounds like you guys should be doing some sort of a project together.
Yeah, we for sure in the next few years. I want to talk to him a little bit more, but we definitely need to like film some kind of project together, right? For sure, because he's one of the main reasons too. I'm like getting like more stuff from all those companies too. He's the one that plugged me with Orage too. I wasn't plugged with them
right before. And now Orage is like partners with the Challenger Tour, exactly, which is kind of cool. So you know, if they're going to be doing any media stuff, you're going to be the guy that they're going to be talking about because you know, well, we're going to get our guy
it's going to be
there, you know,
going to be fun to see all of the boys from Orage. They're all going to be at they're not going to be at the first stop, I think, but they'll be at Silverton and Kirkwood. So like
the head office people, or like the team manager and all that kind of stuff. Very cool, man. You're on it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
You're
nice.
on your way, man. It's really exciting.
It's getting closer and closer to the goals I've set, so it's pretty nice feeling to like get closer and closer every year.
And it's great to hear that you've got all this support, like mentorship and like friends and like people who are like, yeah, we're behind you, man. Like you seem like the kind of guy that would do the exact same in reverse. And it just seems everyone just seems to want to go to bat for you. You know, you're a good dude, you're a good skier. Like everyone wants to get you there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's really nice. I'm fortunate for that, but I've got some nice connections and some really good people I met in Whist. That's another reason why I really like Whistler. There's just so many big mentors and big pros that have been here forever, and you just meet all of those guys and you see how humble they are and everything. So you just gotta like praise it and just kind of do the same and just like go with it and just learn from them.
And pay attention. And
that's one of the reasons I will probably stay in Whist forever. Just like so many
it's where you got to go. I had this conversation with someone earlier today, and it's like, you know, a lot of people, you know, Whistler, you know, when you grow up in the Kootenays, or you grow up in, you know, skiing whitewater or Revel, like, or Revelstoke or whatever,
the crowds and
Whistler, the crowds and blah 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 blah. But there's a reason why
you go there.
There's a reason why all the best skiers in the world like live here or come here or spend time here, exactly. Or this is where you're gonna find like the amount of like world-class ski and snowboard photographers, world-class ski snowboard athletes, filmmakers, creatives, like
zones, just so many zones that you see in films that you just go and you'll see.
And it's not even like the terrain. Like the terrain here is unrivaled. Like there's not just like we talked about earlier. There's Whistler, which is like one of the greatest mountains ever, and then there's another one right beside
which is
it,
completely insane too.
Right, and then you get like Brandywine Zone, like down towards Squamish, and then you get Pemberton Ice Cap, and you get like all these other places, and then you get the best of everyone, the best riders, and the people to collaborate with, and the creatives, and It's just a really good place. Yeah, it's
and you
fucking
got a crazy park too for spring.
Yeah, one of the best parks in the world.
So
they just need to reopen the half pipe.
Yeah.
Get the half pipe
At
back.
least last year we had the small pipe, which was pretty fun.
That's better.
Yeah, it was
better than nothing.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Vale's coming around a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, like you got all this stuff that just adds up to if you want to be a pro skier, you know, this is one of the places where you will have the opportunity to move forward.
Yeah. Oh, it makes totally sense.
Your prime example.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty much one of my thinking when I came here too. I was like, there's literally everything you want. Like it's the mountain that one of the hills that will open the first. They close at the last two, so you get more skiing than everywhere else. There's so many nice people, like you said. Then there's all the filmers like Guy Fatal and all those guys that are photographers. If you need some people, like I haven't had the chance to film with lots of those guys like but we'll get there eventually. But
you'll get your chance.
It's it's just like there's so much in West. Like you can't go wrong coming here, I think.
Right.
Even though yes, there is some big ass lines in the weekends, and
you just got to know how to get around them, right?
It's pretty crowded, but when you know what to do, you just
on a POW day, I'm skiing every single run is fresh because I'm moving first into that new zone.
That's the same.
If you know where you're going,
you're super chill.
You know what? Let's do this. Let's maybe ski this weekend.
Yeah, sure.
And I want to go. I haven't skied Whistler on a POW day in a long time.
Yeah. And
one of the reasons we always go to Blackcomb is because they open it first. Everything gets open quicker.
Oh yeah, all the time we wait and we see Blackcomb.
But I want to see. I want to kind of see what your route is because we've talked about this. I talk about this all the time over the years. I think people are probably tired of me saying it, but there's a game. There's a route. It's like you got to know where to be and when based on all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't. If I had to go do it Whistler, I could probably do it okay.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it in a long time because it's POW day. I'm going to Blackcomb.
Yeah, though I've got so many homies that are in your team. That's for sure.
Yeah, so maybe we should swap and do a trade. Like I'll take you through like a full.
I'd be super down to
this weekend. We're getting some POW, and I'll be like, all right, we got to be here at this time.
Yeah,
ABM's on it too. I used to see ABM on my morning spot a lot, like a couple of years ago, and I was like, and that was when he first moved here too.
Yeah,
and he was like, I'm switching to skiing POW.
Yeah.
I'm like, nice.
Yeah. When that's a nice move.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, let's chat, man.
Yeah. That'd be super cool, though.
I'd like it. Where any other sponsors that we haven't mentioned yet?
I've got Descent Labs. The socks from here.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Descent.
Big fans of those socks. I would never rock anything else
They're great for the airplane.
Oh yeah,
they're good for everything.
They're just good for everything. If not, Eau Claire. And who am I missing?
Garage Volkl. What's the name of the shop?
Boutique Ski Vélo back in Magog. They've got an Instagram too if you want to go and follow them. And I got a construction company from Quebec which is called Groupe BR. They just helped me. They're gonna help me for paying the challengers. And
no way.
Yeah, and the comps there. So super fortunate for that.
Right on, because they want you to come and bang nails this summer.
Yeah, exactly. And
you gotta pay us back.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, exactly. So super fortunate for that because I know it's probably gonna be pretty expensive and a big road trip over there.
Hey,
so
at least you don't have to worry about getting hotel rooms.
Yeah,
See, everybody else is trained to sleep in a bed, and like you know what I mean. Like you just roll up, you're like,
I just pull up. And
I live here, man.
Yeah, ski out. And which pretty much sums it up. I'd say.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. And they can find you at.
They can find me on Instagram at J_PAQ. JE_PAQ. Yeah. Je Paq. Yeah.
Je Paq, man. Thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me, man. It was a pleasure.
Likewise.
Big fan. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers. This has been a Redmark Media production.